Lauletta looking to throw on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Green, 39! Green!
Throwing on third down, Lauletta. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. The first carry for the rookie is Darius Geis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Foles. And this is incomplete. Eli Apple, good to the core there as he gets in and knocks it away.
Eli Apple was a top 10 pick in the 2016 draft, and one of the reasons, his ability to get better, because remember, he's a young guy, and they just figured he could go ahead and grow. A redshirt sophomore when he came out, he's growing at a pretty good rate. How about that play right there?
Very nice pass deflection. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. New York set to take the field. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Lauletta now to throw it. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
The pitch goes to Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Coming off play action, Lauletta. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. They convert on third with a gain of 22. Out of the gun, Loletta. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. On second down, here's Loletta. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Ryan Anderson. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Here we go, here we go.
Foles. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now Foles. Jordan Reed has it. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here's Loletta after the interception. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. on first down. This is Geis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick: make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The Redskins on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. It's brought in by Jackson. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Hey, Silver.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. The veteran Connor Barwin in on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
13.
On 3rd down, that's Thompson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll bring up 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
New York set to take the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Lauletta now on 2nd. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. First catch there for OBJ, and that good for a 1st down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. On 1st and 10, Lauletta over the middle to Beckham. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Lauletta on 1st down. Steps away to his left, and he slides to avoid the hit. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side is taken in by Stewart. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Hooked up by DJ Swearinger. And to the 12, that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. As they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And the Giants ready to come out now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Monte Nicholson picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Go, go, go! Green lady! Great. Here we go. 1.
They'll throw now on the final play. And this is going to be caught, but there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And here come the Redskins now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They start the second half with a run by Geis. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Here we go. Thick!
The backup, Rob Kelly, his first carry. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On third down, it's Thompson, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They begin with a run by Barkley. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Lauletta looking to throw on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. Third down here.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 37. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
He better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They'll hand it down to Geis. And able to work his way down to the 16. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now stands at 13. out as the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. New York set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll let it go deep for... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for the Giants. And even 50 yards in Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Lauletta. Caught, right side, it's Lewis. Still going, they can't stop him. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Watch him now, Barney.
Lauletta, he'll look to throw. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side.
Lucky 56.
Lauletta on 3rd and goal. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Desperation time on 4th down for Lauletta. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have got it back to a 1-score game. PAT up and good by Rosas. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Here's Geis. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
One.
Here's Foles. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
Lawletta looking for a first down throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And got his man complete. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 44 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, here's Lawletta. This is caught. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, a 22. They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. They'll try and run forward Barkley. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Giants are an extra point away from leading this game. This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Rhett Ellison, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from leading this game. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They'll look to throw. He'll check it down to Geis. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 2 yards on that play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. He's back to throw. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Foles now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run with Thompson. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow. How many people are watching this one right here and gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
They're going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir. That touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something. Forget being conservative here. Go for it. Go for 2.
Wow, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now?
Want to win it right now. Have the momentum. Go ahead and get it done.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These 2 teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
Easy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Go.
Now Foles. And he drops this off to Townsend, complete. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Foles. A deep ball for Dotson. And this is going to be intercepted. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. The 20, 10, 5, and he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.